The Francophonies Initiative for Sustainable Cities aims to encourage the implementation of a sustainable urban strategy and to offer concrete solutions to sustainable development challenges in situations faced with very limited resources. In response to the key role of cities in the future of our planet and to the multiple challenges they are facing, a significant number of initiatives and programmes exist and are being implemented on the international level. The Francophonie's Initiative for Sustainable Cities wishes to learn from each of these and concentrate on establishing a programme which is as practical and effective as possible, based on a systemic vision for the built environment. By using adaptable methodologies, the initiative wishes to obtain concrete and measurable results, as well as facilitate their replicability. In other words, the idea is to elaborate a set of indicators, or common denominators, in order to facilitate implementation and to demonstrate the relevance of the actions taken. In order to help transpose a process from one city to another, this methodological stage is necessary before implementing further actions. In practice, it is like building a puzzle, in which each piece is independent and essential, but only useful when connected to the others as part of a planned, optimised and coherent structure, the city being represented by the completed puzzle. In order to do this, the initiative focuses on the following 5 complementary pillars. Firstly, to unite and pool efforts. Secondly, understand and share for inspired cities in the making. Third, implement à la carte action plans. Fourth, fund the inspired city. And fifth, strengthen the capacity to act. The Francophonies Initiative for Sustainable Cities focuses its strategy of action around varied and complementary partnerships and builds on existing actions and initiatives. Indeed, the ambition of the Francophonies Initiative for Sustainable Cities is to invite all stakeholders to participate in the initiative without requiring them to change their own activities. The objective is to pool efforts and align visions, and then to capture these and translate them into a coherent programme of concrete actions, while encouraging everyone to draw inspiration from the results of joint working. Understanding and sharing experience is an essential condition for action. It is important to be able to duplicate exemplary experiences while learning from unsuccessful ones. Good practice must be shared to increase the means of action. According to this goal, the initiative will rely on a course of action which will ensure the replicability of good practices. By capitalising on the different tools and actions identified, a set of solutions will be brought together that is adapted to cities according to their size and context. Thanks to this set, cities will have solutions for all the systems that make up the urban area. A holistic approach will then be possible. In order to tackle sustainable development issues using this systematic approach, every city in the initiative will have to develop a shared vision document addressing all the topics for a sustainable city. Produced in consultation with the different stakeholders of the city and according to the same methodological approach, this document will enable all to have a long-term vision whilst also taking current issues into account. On the basis of this shared vision document, each city will determine its own priorities and will therefore be able to implement a multi-year à la carte action plan adapted to the city's specific needs. This original approach will allow each city to play a part in a process of global change, whilst also starting to work on its own priorities. The idea is also to avoid the creation of specific tools for each city, since the goal is to favour the duplication of successful experiences. One of the unique qualities of the Francophonies Initiative for Sustainable Cities is its approach to allocating funding for activities in a way that is closely aligned to each funder's priority concerns and operating procedures. Such an approach is highly relevant because it will allow us to move forward based on existing mechanisms and procedures rather than waiting for a global programme for cities to be established, something which is so far hypothetical and perhaps unlikely. This block-by-block approach will allow each donor to know the effect of its funding while remaining within its mandate and being sure that it does not finance an action that is not listed in its specifications. Even if such an approach does not raise additional funds, it would at least allow the more effective use of current available capacity and improve the sharing of methodologies and experiences, all within the principles of measuring, reporting and verification. This will help ensure the performance of implemented actions and the identification of the associated benefits. Capacity building at every level is at the heart of the initiative in order to ensure the sharing of knowledge and the sustainability of the actions to be implemented. The educational approach employed is based on 3 complementary axes. Firstly, understanding, designed to mobilise and call to action. Then, identify and take ownership of tools, to discover the methodology as a systematic approach. And finally, strengthening the capacity to act, to learn how to implement projects. To be in a position to unite and overcome potential competing interests, the initiative must be collaborative and participatory. The initiative is intended to be the conductor, so to speak, so that each musician in the orchestra can be part of a shared effort, whilst also revealing its talent as a soloist. In this context, the Francophonie's initiative for sustainable cities must not be seen as a potential competitor, but rather as a coordinator that helps everyone to share their methodologies, best practice, tools, and methods of support. In addition, each participant maintains their full freedom of decisions and actions.